My name is Diana Dirkby, and I live with paranoid schizophrenia. You are listening to my podcast, Schizophrenia as I Live It. Today, I want to announce that this podcast will have 2 more episodes, today's and a final one. The final one will announce the start of my new podcast, Fractured Ink. The new podcast will have a broader compass. Video and audio versions will be available. If you like the audio-only option, you'll find the new podcast on all the audio platforms featuring Schizophrenia as I Live It. Also, the podcast, Schizophrenia as I Live It, will remain on these platforms if you want to refer to it in the future. Fractured Ink will still include accounts of how I live with schizophrenia and general information on this brain disorder. However, schizophrenia doesn't define me, even as regards my health. I live with complex post-traumatic stress disorder, also known as complex PTSD or C-PTSD. I have absence epilepsy, also known as petit mal epilepsy, which, though mild, is still sensitive to the condition of my overall mental and physical health. Passing out with little or no warning due to a petit mal episode can be physically dangerous and mentally stressful. All these conditions feed off each other. Now that I have retired from being a research mathematician and a university professor of mathematics, my new job is defined by my fiction writing. I have published 2 novels, The Overlife, A Tale of Schizophrenia, and 3 Kidnapped, 3 Siblings, 3 Furies. You can find them on Amazon. Although fiction, The Overlife, as I like to abbreviate the title of the first novel, is closely based on my experience of having a mother living with paranoid schizophrenia while also living with this brain disorder myself. 3 Siblings, as I like to abbreviate the title of the second novel, features sibling abuse as its central theme, and is again closely based on my experience and on the experience of people I know who have broken the silence surrounding this type of child abuse. 3 Siblings features an important character, Isabel Morse, who lives with schizophrenia. Her brain disorder doesn't affect the plot of the novel. Therefore, it fits awkwardly into a podcast on schizophrenia, but is perfect for one that also focuses on my writing about, in this case, sibling abuse. The title of the new podcast reflects the fracture of my mind as I deal with several disorders that affect the mind and behavior. The ink solidifies my ongoing work as a fiction writer. I should also add poet as I write poetry. My podcast episode and blog post, Tell Me a Story, defend my use of fiction rather than memoir to discuss essential issues that describe some aspects of my life and the lives of others I know well. I don't feel the need to go on defending it, except to say that my novels, as well as dealing with critical issues, also tell a good story. I hope to reach a broader audience for complex topics via fiction and give myself the artistic freedom to wrap these topics in a story worth reading for its own sake. I hope you will continue to follow my journey by tuning into Fractured Ink when available. The last episode of this podcast will inform you when this new podcast is published. Thank you for listening.